Hello, Scarborough. Hello, clubbers. What do we have today, my friend?
Sorry, buddy. Hiya, MD. Today we've got Arthur from xpmarket. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Arthur. Good to have you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Arthur, you're the creator co-founder of the XP Market. Go a little bit over your history. How did you come up with the idea? How did you set up your team? And why did you want to do this?
Yeah, so my name is Arthur. I'm co-founder at XP Market, and I'm kind of a CEO of it. And we are a team of 3 people. So we have amazing team who are complementing each other. So I'm really proud of what we are doing and the skill set we have. So myself, I am responsible for the business development and day-to-day operations at XP Market. Then we have Audrus, who is another co-founder. He is responsible for the product development and the marketing. And then we have Armineth, who is the CTO of XP Market and also co-founder, who is doing all that coding magic that you can see on our webpage. And when we started XP Market, it wasn't actually XP Market at all. We came up with an idea to launch an NFTs collection somewhere early 2021 when there was an NFTs craze. You might probably remember it because it was like ages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, those beautiful times. And I thought like, I would like to make an NFT collection as well, but not just JPEGs, but something digital, like when you have a physical object and a digital representative. And it seemed like a nice idea and not many people were doing it, but I had no skills in marketing, no skills in coding. I just knew what to do, sort of, and I needed a team. So I gathered my quite well-known friends and we started brainstorming about what we do, how we do it, how we deliver this NFTs idea. And one of the pain points was the selection of the blockchain. We didn't know which blockchain to choose. And quite classically back then, we were looking at Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and Binance Chain. And Binance Chain looks like probably one of the most promising. And we started to analyze like, where do we go? What are the challenges? So Ethereum obviously was expensive. Binance Chain was cheap, but marketing would cost really, really a lot. And Audrus was quite deep into XRP Ledger. He was trading tokens back then. And he told me, how about XRP Ledger? And so that you understand, I had absolutely zero knowledge about XRP Ledger. All I knew was XRP. And I was like, no, that's terrible idea. Let's not talk about it ever again.
That was your reaction.
Yes, sacked.
Yes, that was literally my reaction. But again, since we are coming from the business perspective, so we evaluated the case in numbers and in terms of how you can build a successful business, not just build your idea, but become a sustainable operational company. And this is essentially how the whole XP Market journey started, because we first had to collect the data. And to collect the data, we released what we call like XP Market version 0.1. It was a simple web page where we took the API from Ripple itself to gather the information on the liveliness of the network. What projects are there? How many of them? What are the metrics, volumes, transactions, market cap? And there was no such service before we did it. So we gathered this data first for ourselves. Basically, when you do your own research, this was our own research. And we put it publicly. And on the first day, we received about 4,000 visitors, and our server crashed because we did not expect any users at all. We just put it and see what happens. And at that moment, we realized that there is a market for that, and people do need such data. So if we need it, we see that the community needs, And this is the moment when we pivoted from the NFTs to the data analytics. And essentially, xpmarket first started as data analytics platform. So you might call it coin market cap for XRP Ledger. But we were
Exactly.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, we were very specialized, so we focused specifically on XRPL, because when you focused on one thing, you do it the best, rather than when you spread across multiple chains and trying to do a bit of everything. And this is when we found our niche. So we started first with the tokens, then we connected the DEX, then we implemented NFTs, then we integrated swap, AMM, game discovery game, portfolio, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's out of control now.
Yeah, I think I was one of the early users. I think I stumbled upon your site. I'm not sure if I did a Google search or something. And I found it and I was like, yeah, like you were saying, this is like CoinMarketCap for the XRPL, right? And I thought it was a fantastic idea. This is a needed site, right? The information is very useful, especially if you want to, day trade tokens, see what's going on, right? So it was an excellent idea. And so you pivoted from the NFT collection to working on basically, like you said, a coin market cap for XRPL. Just a side note, is your NFT collection, did it ever materialize? Did it ever do it or
That
no?
was my question.
You see.
We actually went through the whole development. We had quite a brilliant idea, obviously brilliant because I will never admit it was crappy one. But we went with a physical collection where we made something like cards, collectible cards on a piece of meteorite, like real meteorite. We found the meteorite, we sliced it, we engraved it, and that's it. We never released it. We might release it at some point because we still have those cards. They have to be turned into NFTs and they can be redeemable. It's just of a little lower priority right now.
Okay, so let's go through your website. I see it's been growing over the past few weeks, months.
Since we looked
yeah,
at it, which was
we didn't look at it for like a while.
no.
Then we came back to it and we were astonished, right? What you can do here. Am I right saying this? You can basically do anything that you can do on the XRP ledger.
I can confidently say that it definitely covers the most basic needs of an average user. So yes.
Yeah, it obviously doesn't include things like very specific commands or API calls, right? That you can find on a couple other sites like XRP services and so forth. But in terms of DEX swapping, you have the AMM.
Everyday user.
Yeah, everyday user. You
Yep.
can look at NFTs, the rankings, NFT rankings, and so forth. And you can connect your wallet and do all of this, and then look at your portfolio of NFTs and your tokens as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you want to walk us through the top left down from the DEX and maybe go over what people can do in each section? How does it stand out? And go just a little bit over in general terms.
So let's start not with the very, very top. We try to differentiate by the set of the tools. So you can see tools, and then you can see explore.
Yeah.
So let's start with the explore and with token rankings.
Let's look at that.
Yeah, this is essentially the first ever product of xpmarket, where you are presented with the whole ecosystem that is being built on XRP Ledger. And from here, you can basically do your research and analyze what you could buy, what you could sell, what's trending maybe, how things are performing. And how it works is that we are essentially scanning the whole XRP Ledger blockchain. We get the data from the blockchain, we map it, and then we present to our users and our community. And here you can see every single project that is listed or is live on XRP Ledger. For this specific page, we are applying certain filters because there are more than 3,000 tokens on XRP Ledger. And based on how you rank them, you will get very different results. So our goal here with these token rankings is to present the most the best quality projects to our best ability. And we do it by filtering the projects who have Twitter account and the projects who have active traders. In our opinion, it's quite important to have a live product, and hence traders is quite a good metric to see how many people are engaged with a certain project.
I agree.
And say again?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The activity is really important, right?
Yes, and we also found out that you could have certain tokens in a top ranking who have no interest, and you can't really knock them out from the ranking based on the market cap, because market cap is still quite a standard to rank tokens across the industry. But if we could insert more metrics like holders, traders, and the volume, then it becomes easier to filter higher quality projects or those who have better user engagement and user interest from those who are probably less active already. And from this page, essentially you could click on any token. Yeah, and you will see a detailed view of other metrics. So what we also have introduced is several tabs. So right now you're on the price tab, but you can also press on the volume. So this will show you historic volume of a token. You can click on the rank. So
Don't
for this
zoom out,
specific,
MD. You can't FOMO in if you zoom out, you know that.
Yeah. When in doubt, zoom out. That's what I say. Yeah.
yeah, so the rank essentially shows how the project progressed. If it is not something that have been top one for forever, then you will see some kind of a dynamic ranking. You will see that projects might grow from 50th place to like top 10, which is also quite interesting for some users. Then traders, this shows how many unique active wallets are trading a certain token. So one of the probably most important metrics to consider when you're looking at the token. And holders. So this shows how many people or how many tokens are holding a certain token.
That's
So from that,
fascinating. Yeah.
yeah,
I think this is some information that you cannot easily find on other website.
yeah, and these metrics usually come like an experimentation, because we also doing some research ourselves. We are looking how to present data in a better way, and then like, okay, what happens if we do this metric? We check it and like, oh, that's quite interesting. Like, let's put it to xpmarket so the other people look at it.
So you try out different metrics and you see, is this going to be something that is useful for someone who wants to look at a
Yeah,
project?
it's either we try it or we get recommendations from the community. If we are able to implement it and it makes sense, then yeah, we try to listen for the feedback and grow with the suggestions from the community.
And
Excellent.
you've got on there as well, you can set the trust line on that one page. You can basically
Yeah, you can
check
see
everything.
You have all the functions here. You can go straight to the trading panel, set the trust line, or share the link to this specific token.
yeah, you can also see the markets. So if you scroll slightly lower, you will see on which centralized exchanges the token is being traded. So XRP DEX always will be the first. It's kind of a standard for XRP Ledger because it's such a powerful tool that we're going to talk a bit later. But many tokens also are listed on centralized exchanges, and we have a whole section dedicated for it so that people can see the volume on any given exchange, the price, and just how many exchanges are there.
Interesting. Very interesting. I love to see all of this together.
Oh, you're in your element here.
Oh, I love it. And then you have the holders.
Yeah, so holders is also quite important parameter when you're doing your research. And the reason is you do not really want to have a token where a huge supply is concentrated within a single wallet or a small group of wallets, because there is kind of a design flaw on XRP Ledger where there is no escrow. And if there is no escrow, you cannot lock tokens for a fixed period of time, something that you're familiar from the other blockchains, like escrow, vesting, or token schedule. And this is when community can know that these tokens will remain locked and out of circulation for a certain period of time. And since there is no such feature on XRP Ledger, it's also quite important to know which wallets have the largest supply of the tokens so that you can either understand who is holding these tokens or see the dynamics on how these tokens are being distributed. Does it make sense?
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. So that's all the useful information about one token in one place. I love this. This is also visually very well presented, and I have noticed that it's really fast loading as well.
And from here, you can also do quite a bit of other actions. So there is a window where you can swap token. Like you go to, let's in this case, say solo, and you can enter like swap 100 solo for whatever XRP it suggests you. Then you set up a trust line, click swap, and it will swap for any token you want. So in this way, you don't have to go anywhere else. It will
Does
also
this
read your
use
balance.
a path finding if there's no pair available?
It does.
Yeah, great. Fantastic. Excellent. Go on.
Yeah, and straight from here, you can click trade on DEX and you will be transported to the DEX. So that's another quite powerful tool. And if you don't mind, we can focus on the DEX now
Yeah,
because it's quite a
absolutely.
natural transition.
Yeah, perfect.
So the DEX is also very much consumer focused and it is designed to be as simple as possible, but also provide all the required functionality a user would need. There is nothing extraordinary, but it took really a lot of time to refine this DEX. We probably went through 4 or 5 iterations at least until we were satisfied with what we got. But if you scroll higher, yeah, you could click on the plus sign. So there is a plus next to solo XRP pair higher. Not this one, not this plus, just above the chart.
Above the
Up,
chart
up,
here.
up. Yes, yes. So here you can find a pair you want. Just maybe click on XRP USD. And yeah, and you will have now 2 tabs. So this is for more heavy users. When we were talking to our users and when we had support requests, they would send us screenshots and we could always notice how many different xpmarket tabs they would have opened. And you're like, okay, why do you have so many xpmarket tabs? And oh, we are trading multiple pairs. And okay, let's fix it by adding multi-tabs within the single interface. And that should allow the simpler navigation for heavy traders. So that's one of very nice features that we also like and use a lot.
Saves
But in
having a
terms,
load of tabs open.
say again, please.
It saves having a lot of tabs open. It's all
Oh,
there
yes.
on the one page.
Yeah, and it doesn't just save the tabs. It's easier to see which tab is responsible for each pair, and you could navigate much quicker and much more efficiently.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but in other terms, you have market orders, you have limit orders, so everything that the DEX supports, you have on xpmarket DEX. Plus, you have a small window, like where your cursor right now, well, used to be, which says USD Gate Hub. So you get a quick snapshot of the information about the token you're trading, which is also quite useful sometimes. You might see the metrics, supply, all the basic information. So we also try to give as much information as possible without overcrowding the user.
Yeah. And it's visually well presented, right? It's pleasing and clear and clean. I like that very much.
That's great to hear. And from that, we could essentially move. Oh, if you click on the plus sign again, where you have added a tab, there is another tab called Stablecoins. So if you click on it, we were kind of experimenting with this one, and we made FX markets like view, where we have all the fiat currencies and stablecoins from the different issuers, and you essentially can trade any stablecoin to any stablecoin.
You can
Liquidity might be,
arbitrage. Yeah, interesting.
yeah, liquidity might be an issue for many of those, but
Yeah.
once the ecosystem grows, we think that might be quite interesting given the thesis of XRP Ledger and Ripple itself, that it is like designed for payments. And we definitely see more stablecoins coming, more tokenization, and that might be quite useful at some point.
Definitely. And I've not seen this before. You guys seem to be the first ones that are doing it.
Yeah, if we could go to swaps now,
Yeah, let's go
because
over here.
whenever people are trading on the DEX, so for some users, DEX might be way too complicated.
Bit overwhelming, right? Just I remember
Yes.
doing it the first time years
And
ago.
me.
And I was like really scared to touching anything, didn't know what was what. So yeah, the swap is an easy introduction, right? An easy way to swap something quickly without being overwhelmed by interfaces and what the functions
Yes,
are.
definitely. I also remember how I first started with the trading
I
and
think
with
we all
interest
did.
exchanges. Yeah, it was really complicated. You have to be familiar with the order book. You have to be familiar with the order type, market order versus the limit order. You have to understand the mechanics behind them. So it's
Yeah.
not that easy for a newcomer. And specifically for people who are not that tech savvy, we have swaps. And swaps is essentially a simplified DEX plus AMM. So it blends everything into a single interface. And from here, you can trade any token to any token without the need of looking for a specific pair or the need of looking for the specific pool. So how does it work? If there is a specific pair in the liquidity pool in Automated Market Maker, AMM, it will route your order through the AMM. If there is no such pool or trading pair on the DEX, it will use auto pathfinding mechanism, where it basically finds a fancy way how to trade one token to another with XRP being like a middleman.
Yeah.
It will do it everything in the background. So the end user doesn't have to worry about how the transaction is performed. So he can swap whatever he wants to whatever he wants.
That's fantastic. Very easy to use as well. And it advises that you need a trust line. Like in my case, I don't have the US dollar. USD, what is it? USD? Yeah, USD gate hub. There's also USDC gate hub, I believe.
Yes, there is.
For some reason, the USD has low liquidity. So people go to the USDC mostly.
Oh, this is quite interesting case which emerged with the release of Automated Market Maker. USDC became quite popular pair, like XRP USDC. I'm not sure why. I think people might feel safer with USDC. Also, since most of our community is from the United States, where USDC is also the predominant stablecoin, I guess this is where it comes from, the liquidity.
Yeah, I also noticed that Euro has extremely low liquidity. It's not usable really. Like you're saying, most people from the US and the preferred USD is the USDC. Excellent. Where do we go next from here?
Let's go to the AMM. So this was
Oh,
a
yeah.
simplified
This is
version.
the tough one, right? This is
Oh.
complicated.
Yes, so imagine this like a DEX for AMM. So this is where you have a lot of information, but you can understand much more what's happening here. And you can do essentially three things here. First one is swap. So you can do exactly the same with the previous tab that we did, but you can also do it here, having all the information. You can also do deposits. You can do dual asset deposit, or you can do single asset deposit. We always advise to do single asset, Oh, dual asset, sorry, forgettable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dual asset is the safest way because it doesn't rely on the liquidity of the pool. And when you have equivalent amount on the both sides, you will not suffer a loss. Because when you're doing a single-sided deposit, you do not have a countermeasure. You don't have a counter token to balance it to 50-50. And 50-50 is the key element here.
Yeah.
And if there is no 50-50, your asset will be essentially converted into a counter asset, and then you will get not as favorable rate, and it will be like you're selling your token for another one.
So
It
basically,
works much, yeah. go
yeah,
on.
basically you would say that it's advised to do a double deposit, right? Both sides of it, 50-50, to avoid getting a disadvantage, because if you're only depositing one of the two, you get a worse rate than, let's say, you would do a swap, right?
Definitely, yes.
So for a person who has only XRP and they would like to deposit US dollar, it's advised to either get it on the DEX, the US dollar, or do a swap, right? And then after that, go into deposit both sides 50-50.
That's correct. Because if the pool also has very low liquidity, or in other words, tokens locked in the pool, and you're doing quite a significant single asset deposit, then the impact might be quite significant for you that you would like to avoid. If you're doing a tiny deposit, you're just playing around and you might not care that much, then single asset might work for you, but also be very careful with that. And it goes both to the deposits and to the withdrawals. The same logic applies to the both ways, both the way in and both the way out.
Do we go and explain real quick what the AMM does, or should we leave that up to the users?
So the AMM is, well, it says out in the title, Automated Market Maker. And the point of AMM is to ensure that the spread you have when trading is essentially zero. So AMM provides the least spread it is possible to get. And AMMs are really great for trading small amounts of tokens because you need high liquidity to trade higher volumes. And if you would like to do a larger volume or a big order, you might want to do it on the DEX using a limit order. So whenever you're interacting with the DeFi, you have to understand what you're doing and what is your end goal. So to summarize, if you have small amount of the token you want to swap from one to another, AMM or swap is probably the good option. If you have a large amount of money that you want to execute as efficiently as possible, then you definitely want to use DEX and limit order. But there are also things to explain how the whole XRP ledger DeFi works. Whenever you're interacting with the DEX or the AMM, it does not mean that your transaction will be executed specifically there. There is a feature called quality. It's like technical term there. And whenever you're initiating a swap transaction through the AMM, and the blockchain senses that there is a better exchange rate on the DEX, your transaction might be executed actually on the DEX, and you will not know it, or you'll figure out it after it happened. And the same logic works other way around. If you're trading on the DEX using the market order, your transaction might go to the AMM pool. Or it can even be split like 50-50, and half of the transaction will be executed at the DEX, and half can be executed on the AMM.
That
So
is really interesting.
yeah.
I have no idea that
I
this
didn't
is a
know that. That's
feature, right?
interesting.
And we're doing this for a few years now, so that is very interesting to know. Thank you.
It's interesting. It's quite difficult for us, for developers, to decode whenever transaction is rerouted to DEX or to the AMM. And there are benefits, and so there are pros and cons to that. But overall, you always should be presented with the best exchange rate you should get. So it's quite efficient.
It's a
And the
great
more,
feature. Yeah.
yeah. And also the more liquidity XRP Ledger gets, the more efficient this feature becomes. So it might be possible to underestimate this feature right now when there is not that much activity. But once ecosystem grows and XRP Ledger expands and there is more capital turning within the XRP ecosystem, this feature will become really, really amazing and really efficient.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feature. There's a lot of fantastic features on XAppeal that are really unique. Then what do we have down here? We have, okay, this is related to the AMM liquidity pool, right?
Yes, so you can see the top
LP
liquidity
token,
providers.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's also important to understand leading token holders or LP token holders, because the more people you have in a single AMM pool, the better. Because if someone extracts their liquidity, withdraws the liquidity, you still have many other people who are providing for it, and it might drop that significantly. But if you have, let's say, 5 people and one withdraws the liquidity, it's quite a significant impact for the pool, and the liquidity will drop.
Yeah.
Plus, the number of the contributors to the liquidity pool also indicates how much interest the community has for a specific pair. So you can also understand how many people are looking into this pair, how much interest in there, how safe it is maybe. So it's really up to you to interpret the data, but it's also quite powerful too.
You want to go
And
real
then
quick and maybe
Sure.
explain what the liquidity pool token is, what it does, how does it work?
The liquidity pool token is presented to you whenever you're doing a deposit. So if you're depositing assets to the liquidity pool, you're issued LP tokens. And LP token is like a receipt from the shop or a voucher, let's say. It basically says that you own a specific amount of tokens from this pool. And whenever you want to claim those tokens back, you have to come with this voucher to the AMM, give this voucher to AMM, and you will get your tokens back. Does it make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you earn a part of the share of the fees here, it will be paid out as liquidity token, right?
It will be, yes, no, wait, 1 second. So whenever you have LP tokens, you are starting to earn the fees, which are being generated by the traders who trade within this pool. And whenever you're cashing out your LP tokens, you will get your earned fees with those tokens that you're taking out. So in other words, the pool is growing with those fees, but you can't withdraw fees independently. They are in the pool. And in other words, your LP tokens become more valuable as the more reward accumulate within this pool. And once you cash them out, you get more tokens out.
I see. So if the pool of rewards increases over time, so does your share of rewards over time. And once you withdraw, the same number of LP tokens will receive a larger share of the rewards of the pool, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, excellent. And I think that's clear for everybody. I was playing around with the AMM a little bit here this week, and I found it works very well. The only thing I had that I found is that I got stuck with a tiny fraction of LP tokens, like 0.0000.
In the withdrawal.
Yeah, in the withdrawal. And I'm not sure if this is an interface thing that I do not understand. It's possible. You know, I did a withdrawal in the wrong way, very well possible. But I cannot remove that LP token from my tokens, from my wallet.
This is exactly what we have been fixing today, actually.
Oh, nice.
And we definitely fixed for the most cases. And whenever you try this again, and if it does not work, please let us know. We will look deeper into it, because it turned out to be slightly more complicated to implement, but we know how to do it. We just need to make sure it works as intended.
And people can, you know, use small amounts to play with it and learn the AMM.
Which
right?
is what me and you did.
Yeah.
Have a go on it.
Real quick, another question. You have a chart here on the right. Tell us, what does the chart show for someone who is not familiar? Well, you can obviously see you have 50-50, right, for each token. But tell us the details.
So the chart shows the price of the token, the dynamics of the price, and those columns are showing the volume. So you can get a better understanding about the price dynamics and how much people trade for this specific pool. When we're talking about this 50-50, we have briefly touched the idea that AMM pool has to be, the tokens provided to the AMM pool have to be in equal ratios in US value, in US dollar value. And this is exactly what it is showing. And whenever someone deposits a single asset, this value, so this balance will be damaged and it will skew to one side or another. And this is when you have inefficiencies in the pool. And this is also when you get arbitrage possibilities. So for example, when I was
yeah, go ahead.
Go on.
Yeah, if someone, let's say we have $35,000 here, right, on the left. If someone were to add $3,500, which is 10%, right? On the dollar side only, but not on the XRP side, we have a skew, right? We would
That's
have,
correct.
I don't know, 55% US dollars and 45% in XRP available. So what happens then? When someone wants to withdraw one or the other, they can have a better exchange rate, correct? And take advantage.
Yeah, it does impact the price of the token because, again, the pool is no longer 50-50. That means the formula which is used to calculate the price is not in the balance, and the price will shift. And if there is such a shift in the price, this is when, if you're depositing or withdrawing the tokens, you have to be extra careful and see the rate you're getting. Also, if you're trading, you should be extra cautious. And whenever you withdraw a single asset or dual asset, you might also get different balance or different amount of the tokens out.
Right.
But on the other hand, it also presents the opportunity. So you could arbitrage, for example, and you could really take it to your advantage and get cheaper tokens because you could balance that pool out yourself. And whenever you do the balancing out, it means one token is undervalued. You could, for example, deposit a single asset and then withdraw as dual asset and earn certain amount of profit from that. I have not tried to arbitrage myself, but I was arbitraged by someone. So essentially I was testing the pool. Yeah. I was looking how the pool performs and how do we present the data. And I probably deposited about $20 in a single pool as a single asset, specifically to skew the balance. And probably a minute later, when I wanted to take it back, someone came in and equalized the pool. I was, oh crap.
That was me and MD.
I visualize this as someone sending the strong arm emoji, you know? It's like, here, I got you. I took
Got
it.
ya.
Yeah.
That was me and MD. We were waiting for that.
Okay, that's fantastic. So thanks for that little side explanation how AMM works and what it is.
A quick one.
Yeah.
Sorry, MD. On the withdraw, when I had to go, there's no way of putting in max when you want to withdraw. Withdraw all. Would that do it?
Oh, it will simply make like 100% and it will withdraw all. This is something we implemented today or yesterday?
There you
Maybe
go.
today
Yeah,
That's why it
because
weren't
what
there.
I did is I pressed on the balance here, but the balance was different when I pressed this or this, and then I always had like a very small amount of
that's
US
where
dollar
we've got
left.
0.00000.
So this is
Yeah,
new, the withdrawal,
That's
right?
no.
Yeah.
This is the issue which could appear when the pool was not in equilibrium. Then you would get those different numbers as you have just described. And withdraw all basically works in a slightly different way in the backend. So there's like a specific different command to do that.
Right.
Perfect. Excellent. So
That's what I've
AMM,
just seen withdraw all because it got put in today or yesterday.
so you have the token holders that we just talked about earlier, and we have the log of the pool actions, right?
That's
When
correct.
was it done and what was done? That's also very interesting.
Yeah,
And
and
your own transactions. Yeah.
you can also see in the deposit section, so swaps, deposits, and you can see how many people are using single asset deposit. You can see base amount and counter amount, and there are quite a lot of zeros. So that means people do put as single asset. Should they do that? Probably not, but if they want, then yes, why not? But this is to give you understanding where the inefficiencies in the equilibrium might come from. And there are
Yeah.
quite a lot of people utilizing single asset.
There's a lot actually. Yeah. Many zero US
That's
dollar.
more than
And
I
then
thought there would be.
maybe it's because of a lack of education. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'd rather think that people are not
Uh,
yet familiar and less people are super smart and know what they're doing.
We definitely see that people do not get the whole point of AMM and how it works
no.
and the risks associated with it. We try to explain that it is like a proper financial tool and it does come with a risk of losing your capital. And you definitely have to understand what you're doing to
Definitely.
preserve your capital.
Yeah.
I mean, me and MD only had a go on it, knowing we were having you on, but we both did go on Orchestra's testnet and we had a go at it on there. So we had a go, but the amount of people who I seen in the Orchestra Discord server thinking it's like staking, and I think that's a big thing that they think it's just like staking your XRP, and it's not.
No,
Yeah,
definitely not.
there's like a joke that some
Yeah.
people think it is automated money maker, but it is
Yeah.
not.
No,
I never heard that one
there you
before.
go. But they do. They think, and it's like I can't even go there with you. But it's like no, have and the facility was there for them to test it out and have a go. But the amount of people who just wanted to jump straight in was frightening.
We also can make a different assumption here because people who are using XRPL, they are very much pro XRPL and pro XRP, and they might have never tried other blockchains.
That
For
is
me,
the
for
other thing.
example, yeah, it's quite intuitive on the subconscious level. Sometimes I can't even explain because I have interacted with so many DeFi protocols on so many chains that I just know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And other people never had this experience. They never tried it on other blockchains. And for them, it is a very new feature which has been introduced just recently. And something that has been live for like 5 years on Ethereum has just arrived to XRP Ledger, and people are still learning about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think we covered the AMM, right? We got it
And
all.
thanks for that. That was a
Yeah,
lot.
thank you for that
Lot
in-depth
better, yeah.
detail. Where do we go next from here?
Let's focus
NFT
maybe
Explorer.
slightly on the NFTs. Let's go to NFT ranking.
Okay, here we go.
So NFTs was a quite hot topic a year ago, or maybe a year and a half, quite some time ago. Let's call it like this, when it was released on XRP Ledger as a native tool. And we are basically tracking every single NFT collection and every single NFT on XRP Ledger.
Which we
And we
liked.
also rank them in a similar way how we do it for the tokens. Only here, we do not use valuation or market cap. We use the volume because we also following industry standards. And for NFTs, volume is the main element. And filtering by volume, you can also see what are the most popular NFT collections for this week. So you have a weekly time frame selected here for a day, for a month, or for all time.
Fantastic. Yep. And it's really quick as well.
Very quick.
Yeah, and from here you can also see the total volume, the valuation. Valuation is also calculated very differently from other blockchains. We tried to experiment here, and since we can track the price of every single NFT which has been sold, we can sum up those single NFTs into a valuation. And other blockchains use it by the floor price, where you take the floor price and multiply by the circulating supply. So we are not using the floor price, we are using each NFT and we use a sum of those NFTs.
So way more precise calculation, right?
It is different calculation. It is hard to tell which one is the better because they show slightly different metrics, but they are both important and they are both interesting.
Interesting. Okay, great.
And then you can simply click on any collection here. So go on, pick your winner.
I thought you'd have gone for the junkies. Pick 'em up. Oh man, seriously.
Okay, we'll do the junkies.
Jake could kill me.
Let's look at the junkies. Where are the junkies? Where are the junkies? There they are.
Yeah. If the lads watch this, I'm dead if we didn't do that.
All right, fair enough. So
yeah, and the idea here is, so for example, I first saw a similar feature on CoinMarketCap where you would see the collection, but then you click on the collection and you're redirected to a web page of this collection, like to the native web page. And I wanted to see individual NFTs within this collection. And this is what it's about. Whenever you click on the collection, you're transferred into this page where you can see every single NFT which is making up this collection. And I like it because I can find a certain NFT, track its history, see the volume, the sale price, number of transactions it had. And it also lets you to understand what's happening with every single NFT individually. So it's quite useful for heavy NFT users and to track how those NFTs were transacted. And even from here, again, you can click on a certain NFT now. So it's like Inception, you go multiple levels from the top level to middle to very specific one. And now you're seeing a single NFT and you see the attributes, you see the price history, similar NFTs from the same issuer, where the NFT is listed on which broker, transactions history. And from here, you can also, on the top, make the offer or buy it straight away, whatever you like or whatever is available. Oh, that's very expensive.
Yeah. Very good.
I was about to accept, mate. And can you view the metadata file or
token omits
some
metadata?
Right under the image, there is a view metadata file. So I guess this is what you referred.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. And of course, we can get a bigger view.
And then we have another feature associated with NFTs. It is called Discovery Game. So if you go there.
Yeah, I went through this. This is fun.
Yeah. This is like Tinder for NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tinder. Perfect. Yeah, NFT Tinder. NFT Tinder.
The main use of this tool is to allow our community members to create the portfolio of NFTs that they like. So you're now liking, disliking the NFTs, and those that you have liked will appear on the left, and then you can probably go and make the offer and buy it. So it's like adding to the favorite list or adding to the shopping cart.
And these are completely random, right?
Oh, they are randomized, yes.
Yeah.
Because there are so many NFTs that it will take forever for you to go through every single collection and see what's there. So we try to push them in a random way so that you can see what's there, what are the styles, and give you some more awareness of what's being created in terms of JPEGs.
Fantastic. I like that. Something playful, but also very useful if you're in the mood for.
Whenever you click like button, so this is being recorded. And when you go to NFT Explorer, just above the Discovery Game, this is represented here. So you can see number of likes on the top. of each
Oh,
image.
yeah.
Yeah, this simply shows how many people have seen this NFT and liked in our discovery game.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like NFT Tinder, Instagram like. I don't know. It's a really nice idea.
I could get you to FOMO in, buddy. 167 like that. I bet you best get it.
Yeah, 10,000 XRP. You should
Yeah, get it
definitely
there.
pick that up. Good deal. So, okay,
That's
discovery
a good
game.
feature. That's
Great
good.
one. Yeah.
And fun.
Where do we go next?
Let's go to one of the most heavily used features of our webpage, which is portfolio.
Yeah. Okay.
I like
So the
this.
portfolio differentiated into several tabs as well. So right now we are in the tokens tab. So this is everything for fungible tokens and helps you to track what you're holding in your wallet, what tokens you have. And one of the first ideas was when we created this page is to simplify the tracking of your holdings. Some of our co-founders literally have hundreds of tokens. I have no idea how they managed to collect that many. I have about 2025 for testing and monitoring purposes, and that's already a lot for me. But when
Yeah.
you use it, yeah, but whenever you are using a wallet, like a proper wallet, Zaman, Crossmark, Bifrost, it's slightly difficult to manage your tokens through their interface
I love your
because you
understatement. Yeah. Thank you for that.
yeah, because you have as much information as they can present you to fit into their UI, not to overcrowd, etc. And
Or you would have
here,
to go into XRP scan, for example, and look at it there, right?
yes,
But you cannot
that's correct.
interact. It's just a list.
And with our page, web page, you can go to the every token and see how it is performing, how many Twitter followers it has, how many holders, what's your balance, how your balance changed in 24 hours. I think you're performing really, really terribly here. Almost 90%
Oh,
loss. I'm sorry
thanks.
for you.
No, yeah,
Well,
this is high
someone dumped on us.
volatility. Yeah.
Someone dumped on us.
Our token has no market cap of any kind, right? So it's not meant for trading. It's a marketing tool we give out, and whatever may be will happen, but it's not for that purpose, you know.
That's great.
So yeah, there's no liquidity.
But again, yeah, you can see the balance, you can see the value of your tokens, you can see how many traders interacted with your token in the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
And straight from here, you can also go to the trade and
Yeah.
you will be redirected to the DEX. Feel free to click it.
Yeah. Would rather not, but okay.
So now you're on the DEX. You can see your token. You can see everything that's happening in terms of
Yeah.
order book style trading. And you
Yeah.
can then go back to your portfolio. You can also remove the trust line. So next to the trade, there was a word remove.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a zero balance, you have to have zero balance in order to remove a trust line.
Actually,
But once you have it,
almost zero, right? It allows for a very small amount to be there, I believe. At least on Shaman, right? It
I'm not
will
exactly
just,
sure.
I don't know what it does. If it burns it, sends it away. Yeah.
Under how you have to, if you want to get rid of it and you've got a small balance, you have to, it burns it and then you can get rid of the trust line. You have to burn that small amount by sending it back to the issuer. And then you can,
I think if you have
get
less
rid of the
than
trust
like
line.
0.1 or something, let's say you have 0.0153, whatever, I think it'll let you still remove the trust line. I'm not
No,
sure what it does with
you
your.
still have to send that back, buddy, because I had to. You still
Yeah.
have to go through a transaction where they send it back to the issuer and then you get rid of the trust line that
But
way.
it's built into the removal process now, I believe.
Yeah, it's all built in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also something we're considering to implement this burning mechanism, but there's simply no time. We have too many ideas to do. Yeah, but again, from here you can see everything, what's happening with your portfolio, how many tokens you have locked in your balance. So you can see available XRP balance. There's like a tiny pie chart and it shows XRP locked balance. and this XRP is locked in your wallet, so wallet activation in trust lines, because every trust line is 2 XRP. Every limit order is also 2 XRP, and it gives you an idea how much XRP you can get back whenever you remove all the active orders and all the trust lines.
So in this
Yeah.
case, we have a lot of NFTs locked up in offers and just holding NFTs, and that locks up. I don't know what's the number of NFTs. Every 8 or 10 or 12, there's 2 XRP taken out or something like that.
It should be every 32 or 36.
Oh,
I believe
okay,
32.
yeah. Plus every offer, right? If you have an NFT that you
Yes.
have a sale offer, it's another 2 or something. So you can run up a high locked up amount quickly.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So you can
Easy.
see how having a huge ecosystem and multiple participants can actually drive the supply or demand for the XRP itself, because it is not just a gas token. You need XRP to interact with the whole ecosystem with like multiple from multiple perspectives. So it's like super important.
It locks up XRP quickly, a lot of it, and then also
I
it's a
know.
scam protection, right? It prevents people
is.
from doing thousands of buy offers or whatever, sell offers, and abusing the system.
And also it saves from abusing yourself, because as long as you do not have a trust line, no one can send you a spam token.
Which is a huge
or-
issue, for example, on Tron, right? Where you get constantly things sent to you. On ETH as
Oh,
well, right?
when I was
And
doing
Solana.
my
Yeah.
taxes and I was exporting Tron, I spent quite a bit filtering out those spam transactions. And funny thing that I actually earned about $3 for receiving spam in USD. I was okay, at least it's profit.
Yeah, something. But yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot of thought that went into it when they worked out the XRP ledger back then. I applaud it.
Yeah, so it's an interesting feature. It does not exist on other blockchains, or at least most of the blockchains, and it definitely saves you a lot of spam. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of headaches. Yeah. So we have different tabs here as well, right? Want to look at those?
Yeah, let's go to the orders. So orders indicate how many open orders you have on the DEX and NFTs marketplaces. And the reason here is whenever you're interacting with the DeFi on XRP Ledger, you might simply forget what you have done, and the transaction might be executed without you wanting it to be executed. And in order to avoid it, you can go to the orders and cancel this transaction. And so that you free your 2 XRP, plus you are ensuring that your token will not be purchased or will not be sold. So it helps you to track your activity with the decentralized finance.
Yeah, it's easy to lose track, definitely. Once you get into it, I mean, so it's nice to have this all in one place. One more thing that you can do here on your website, and I don't have to go over to a marketplace, right, to look things up and log in there. I have it all together, sort of, yeah.
That's correct. Then we have NFTs. So NFTs basically show every single NFT that you have in your wallet. NFTs are a
You've
bit
got
heavier than
thousands.
tokens. Yeah, it takes time to load them, but we managed. Oh, that's quite a bit of
It's
NFTs.
got thousands. That's because it's ours.
No, it's because this is our collection, our X Club token collection that is here partially for sale. And a few ones that received from other projects that we interview, and they sent us a few of their NFTs. But yeah, so we have an overview of every held NFT here with the offers, if there's any sell offer, buy offer, and you can list it for sale and see the actual NFT, right?
Yes, that's correct. And whenever you receive an offer for a specific NFT, there will be a red exclamation mark, like a notification telling you that you have received an offer to buy your NFT, and then you'll be able to sell it. I do not see any exclamation marks here, so I cannot use it as an
no
example.
one wants ours, mate.
Well, hopefully you will sell them all at some point.
Hopefully, one day.
Yeah, we're not worried.
Yeah. But it helps to track also what you're holding and if anyone is bidding for your NFTs, because it was quite a problem because if someone would bid for your NFT, you would not know that. You do not have a way to receive a notification like SMS message or email or something like that, because we're operating on the DeFi. We connect with a wallet, and it was a simple way to show that now you have a notification about someone wanting to buy it.
Is this a little CSS style fix required? When I hover here, we see everything moves around just slightly.
I have
Oh,
no idea what's happening.
oh man. I
All
know you
right.
get anal about something.
It's because I work with those things, so I
Oh,
see
no.
them. Yeah, profit loss. Okay, this is interesting. I've never seen something like this anywhere. Tell us
So
about
this page requires certain update in light of AMM, because we do not track AMM transactions here so far, but it was used a lot by DEX traders and people who actively trade. And this specific page will track every single transaction you execute on the DEX and calculate how much you have profited from a specific token, or how much you have lost from a specific token.
Interesting.
And it will show you cumulative profit and cumulative loss and the best performers and the worst performers.
So this is a
So
complex calculation, I believe.
it is complex calculation. This is why it has its own separate tab to split those computational powers, because it's calculated kind of constantly.
And you can
And then you can
export a
export it, yeah.
CSV. Yeah, people will use this for other purposes, right? Text purposes, whatnot.
Yeah, some people use it for tax purposes, some use to recalculate something, whatever they need.
Liquidity pools.
So this is the latest feature. So in order for something to appear here, you have to deposit a liquidity into any of the pools. And once you deposit the liquidity, you will be provided with LP token.
So that's where you can
And
keep track of all the different pools you're in.
that's correct. So whenever you are participating in multiple AMM pools, this will be the place where you can track the performance of those pools you are participating in and the performance
Nice.
of your positions. Because from here you'll be able to see the token or the pool you're taking part in. You will see the balance. You will see how much your balance has changed. So this is a worth, and profit and loss, P&L. You'll see how you are performing over the time, and this will take into account how many fees you have earned. Plus, it will also take into account the price difference between when you have deposited your tokens and when you're going to withdraw them, like right now. And this is important because you might have deposited the tokens when in each of them was worth like $10, but now it went up in price and now it's $15 each. Or it went down in price and it's $5 each, plus the fees. So it's also quite a complex calculation tool. And from here, you also see the performance of the pool, how much volume has been generated. And from the number of volume, you will be able to determine how many fields you're collecting, whether it is worth staying in this pool, or you might want to take your liquidity out and put it somewhere else for a more efficient money employment. But again, it is portfolio management tool. It should provide you with all your basic needs for the tokens, NFTs, and LP tokens.
Fantastic. Yeah, so I'm not in a pool, obviously, so that's we don't see anything here. But that's what you would see. All right, where do we go from here?
We could go, let's go to the main page. If you click on the XP market, you will be directed to the main page. And you can see on the very top, there is a line which is showing like tokens, NFTs, NFT volume. So this gives you a snapshot of the basic metrics on XRP Ledger so that you can know what's happening, how much the volume there is, what's the total market cap of XRPL tokens. And it's just a nice snapshot of the information. And we can get much more detailed information about the statistics and data analytics based on what you're looking for. So if we can go on.
A quick question. How up to date is that information?
This one should be live.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so if you go to the token rankings.
Over here?
On the very left, yes.
Yeah.
You will see tabs on the very top. So we have token rankings, token trends. So if you click here, you will see the historical data on the XRP ledger in terms of the tokens. How many active traders, how many tokens were listed there, number of trust lines, market cap, DEX volume, text volume, and total volume. And you can filter it by date, by week, by month, and it helps you to track the dynamics of what's happening on XRP
This is
ledger.
fantastic. I love this. This is
So
really good. Yeah, to see the activity and overall activity, right?
Yeah,
It's
whenever
like,
we are doing our tweets about the market trends, we are actually using our own data from this specific section.
it's like the heartbeat of the XRPL. I love this. So thank you for providing this. I mean, it's really interesting. Very, very good. Yeah, go on.
Then we have new tokens.
Yeah.
So the new tokens is basically fresh tokens that have been just created. Some community members like to go and set all the trust lines for every single token.
Your mate.
Yeah, and they did it in order to possibly get an airdrop, because airdrops are still quite popular for trust line holders, and this page is specifically designated for them. You can also see some, like, let's call it Easter egg for XPM token, position number 7.
Yeah. What are we looking
What's
at?
this? It is our own native token that should be released in a month or 2.
Oh, xpmarket, that's you guys. Yeah.
Yes,
I've
this
already
is
set
our...
the trust line, buddy.
Oh my God, I have to set a trust line.
Come on.
Yeah. We'll have to do that.
You've not looked at this enough, have you? I was in
No,
there. I
no,
set the
no.
trust line, see.
I wanted the rundown from Arthur, from the profession.
Yeah, and we have some flags. Flags help to indicate quick information, like what's the web page, what the validator, like network validator.
So you
that
have a
means...
validator node, right? You're running your own
Yes.
node to do your own work. So you're participating and you're not just taking resources, but you're contributing, right?
This is essential part of xpmarket because we rely on data. And in order to take the data reliably, you have to run a node. And we run a node specifically to take this data for ourselves and to be independent.
Fantastic. I applaud it.
And then we also have token heatmap. This is the last tab in this section.
This is something popular, right, in crypto. We see this on many other websites as well.
It helps you to understand the dynamics of the market, and you can see what's happening here, what are the market caps, volumes, all the basic information, how the price performs. So if it is a green square, the price increased. If it's red, it decreased. If it's gray, pretty much no changes.
I think this is within plus and minus 2% or something, right? Probably.
Yeah, around that, yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Great. Fantastic. So those are the tabs.
Tool exists for NFTs. So if you go to NFTs ranking now, there is NFTs Heatmap. So this shows the tokens by the trading volume. You can see Cryptoland is really crushing it in terms of the volume, pretty much dominating the whole market.
Definitely. Weekly, there's a lot more, of course.
Yes. So the larger time frame you select, obviously the healthier the market will look, because players do change, the interests do change, and the heat map starts to look much more interesting as well.
Yeah.
And then we have NFT Trends. This is all the information about the NFTs, how much NFTs volume there was for the all time, how many NFTs burned, how many fees are collected, and also the historical data just below, so that you can see how NFTs perform now and how they performed in the past. And this might be useful for you to understand, is there a market for NFTs? Is it growing? Is it declining? How many people participating in it? And what should I do with this information?
Fantastic. I think a lot of people might find this extremely useful. I think this is very
I hope they do.
fascinating. Yeah, yeah. And I've not seen these kind of tools other places.
No.
If you guys have found some, leave a comment. But I think you guys are doing an extremely good job presenting all this useful information, all the statistics. Really
And you
good.
can also estimate how much NFT platforms earn from the NFTs, because we show issuer fees and broker fees. So if you scroll a little bit lower, the whole page, yeah, and then a little bit to the right, yeah, you can see broker fees, and you can see average, max, and total. This
Yeah,
is the last column. And
yeah,
it helps you
yeah.
to understand the size of the market and how much NFT marketplaces might be earning, or what's their potential revenue. Also quite interesting
Interesting.
metric.
Yeah, that is very interesting. You really went all the way out to find
Man.
this information and collect the data, do an algorithm that will just add this all up. I mean, it's mind blowing. Fantastic. So we would definitely say, right, that we have what do we have, a downtrend from week 9 to week 15, from 4K, 2.5, 2, 1.7, 1.6, 1.6, and then 800. Well, we're just
Yeah.
partially into this week, right? But yeah, there's definitely a downtrend. You can see that on the chart
Yeah,
as well.
sadly, we definitely see less interest in the NFTs, and the daily trading volume is about $10,000 to $15,000, which is not that much.
No,
So maybe it will increase, maybe it will not.
Let's hope
Are
so.
we worried about it? Not really.
Nah.
Why? Because it is a general trend across the whole blockchains. NFTs did not really get resurrected after their extreme hype in 2021. They definitely have reshaped. They are no longer just collectibles or just digital images. They have much more applications. And we believe that on XRP Ledger, NFTs will also transform into something bigger, probably with much more utility, or in a way of tokenization of the assets.
yeah, I
So
was just
that's
going to
to
say
be
exactly
discovered.
that. Yeah, definitely. Exactly that. Yeah. Not just pretty images. There will be actual real world utility,
Yeah,
tokenization.
I would say it is normal technology cycle.
Yeah.
When it goes straight to the bubble, like we saw it with NFTs, then the bubble pops and you get the technology which remains underneath it. And then this technology evolves. And the same happened like every single time. In 2017, there was a huge craze with ICOs. ICO as a concept obviously died. There are no more ICOs, but now there are like IEOs, IDOs, different crowdfunding mechanisms. So the technology remained, but it changed, and the tokens are still there. They simply evolved and shaped into something different and more mature. So that's completely normal.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely agree with you on that.
And again, finally, we have a similar view for the AMM. If you go to AMM Rankings, this is something that we did not cover yet. You can see all the pools on XRP Ledger. But for this case, we are implementing certain filters, and we are trying not to let the tokens on the very top who are not in the top 100 list. And there's a specific reason. If you remember, I mentioned that the pool has to be made 50-50 of two assets. And we saw that some tokens were creating quite interesting combination of the pools. They might have deposited, for example, 100 XRP, and a gazillion of their tokens. And that skews the price incredibly. And some token liquidity pools were valued at millions and millions, which was not really the truth. And this
Yeah.
is when you have to make some kind of algorithm or set of rules where you're saying, okay, we have to cut off a certain amount of pools in order to preserve the general health. And this is what we're doing here. We are implementing certain filters to make this top look clear and, let's say, fair. And again, you see all the basic information, the liquidity. It shows how much tokens are locked, how many tokens are locked for a specific pair, and that indicates how much volume you could potentially trade. The larger the liquidity, the larger the trade you can perform. Depth is exactly, it shows exactly that. It indicates how many tokens you have to sell or buy in order to push the price by 2%. We have volume, we have APR. So if you're a liquidity provider, these two metrics are quite important because you want as much volume as it's possible so that your APR increases. And APR shows how much percent you might earn on your liquidity pools extrapolated into the year. We calculate based on the past 7 days performance, but show us a yearly yield.
So let's say USDC XRP would be almost 2% a year based on the last
That's
7-day average.
Yes, and
Perfect.
that number changes basically every day, depending on how much volume has been generated through the pool.
Perfect. Perfect.
And then you can see how many liquidity providers are there. These are unique wallets or individuals who have provided their tokens for, let's call, greater good for the liquidity. You can see the fee. This is liquidity pool fee, and it indicates how much you will be charged every single time you're performing a transaction in the pool. So if you trade $100 in a pool with 1% fee, you will get 99 back, and 1%, $1, will remain in the liquidity pool. And then you have health, and health indicates whether the pool is in a 50-50 ratio. So if you click it, it will filter to the pools who are not balanced. Yeah, click on it. So you can see some yellow dots. And if you go to this pool, for example, you will see that the pool is out of balance. And this is when we warn our users that something might not be right. And you should probably be careful when trading with this pool, because if you deposit your tokens, you might lose something. If you withdraw, you might lose something. Just be careful and understand what you're doing.
This is
And
fantastic.
now,
Yeah.
if you go back, there is the last tab called AMM Trends, and
There's
the
another,
second
oh,
tab.
here. Yeah.
Yes. And as we already covered in other sections, it essentially shows everything what relates to the AMM. The volume, inflows, outflows, fees, total value locked, which is probably the key metric for all DeFi protocols, number of people participating, pools, and XRP pooled.
Let me ask you something real quick. All of the information about the AMM pools, liquidity pools, is from your side only or XRPL wide?
XRPL wide.
So the AMM pools that I can access on other websites are reflected in here as well, right? Like if I go to Orchestra
Yes.
or another provider, like Anodos or
The
whatever.
the same DeFi principle is preserved with AMM as with the DEX. So DEX has universal or global liquidity, and anyone can connect to this liquidity via the UI. And the same comes true for the AMM.
So you
All the
can find
pools,
all the AMMs on all the other sites as well, just like the DEX, right? It's universal XRPL access for everyone. You're just providing a different interface, right? In a way. I mean,
yeah,
you could filter out some that you don't want on your side, for example, right?
Yes, and again, other UI providers might filter them out. We definitely filter them out, as I mentioned, based on quality criteria,
Yeah,
but it is universal and you should be able to find manually at least whatever you need.
fantastic. I mean, you can definitely find every possible tool and every possible useful information here. Did we have any tab that we not yet look at? I think we covered them all.
We
Oh,
can also
there's
look at
one.
the
There's one.
search for the assets to begin with. It's at the very top where you can see the search, very top in the middle.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yes. And whenever you type any token you want. Yeah, you will see the token itself. It will direct you to the page. Then you will see the DEX pair. Yeah, if you type it again. So if you scroll down now, you can see the DEX pair, you can see the pools, and if they would have an NFT collection, you would see an NFT collection.
It's
So
all
it's
there.
also another way to quickly find whatever you need on XRP Ledger.
Fantastic. And that's really fast as well. All on your fingertips. You guys did a fantastic
Covered
job.
everything.
Yeah. And like I said, there is one thing that we have not talked about, but maybe you do want to talk about the Launchpad.
So the Launchpad is one of the major updates, and it goes together with the rewards. It's on the very bottom left corner. It will also be unlocked once Launch Pool is delivered. And what is Launch Pool? Launch Pool essentially is a crowdfunding platform for a project. Not everyone will be able to create a token and crowdfund it, and not everyone will be able to pass to the section. Because the way how it works is we are handpicking the projects who apply to us to launch their token. And in order to do so, to be selected, the company or the project has to reach a certain step in their development where they can sustain their business, and when they are sure that the token is essentially the last stage of their development, we are going to run the due diligence for every company that applies. We will check whether it has a company established. We will KYC every single co-founder and the director. We will look at the financials. Basically, we will try to do as much due diligence as we can before any project is listed on our Launchpad. Once it is listed, you or the community will be able to familiarize yourself with the product and decide for yourself whether you would like to buy their token from the Launchpad or not. And with the Launchpad, we are starting with our own token. We will launch our native XPM token. So it will be like a model to understand how the Launchpad works. Plus, it will be the first product there. So it's quite reasonable and logical step for us, both to promote the Launchpad and to showcase how it is being operated. And also Launchpad will provide a quite significant engagement element for the community, both for our community, XRPL wide community, and hopefully community from the other blockchains. Because we are going to implement certain quests and tasks which you are able to complete on the daily basis. Basically, you will come to xpmarket, you will click on certain tabs, you claim your rewards, and you will be able to do it daily. And we hope to achieve a greater engagement for the whole XRP Ledger ecosystem, teach our community about other projects which are being launched or which have already launched, and it should become quite a powerful tool, in our opinion, that will spark more attention to the whole ledger.
It's really a great idea. I mean, I can't wait to see this. So we have 4 days, right? 4 or 5 days almost.
Yes, in 4.5 days, we will present you with the look of how XP Market's token will look like. Not just token, but the whole crowdfunding page for xpmarket token. You'll be able to see like the description of the company. You'll be able to see the tokenomics. You will be able to see the quests which we have prepared to you. And there are much more features to that. Some features for the influencers, some features for the community, like trading competitions. I'm quite excited about it. I
I am
really
as
can't
well.
wait to see what impact it makes on XRP Ledger. Yeah, that's it.
I think it's a first as
Excellent.
well. Another first you guys are doing.
Yes.
Although I do want to ask, who audited you to say that you can launch yours?
Can you
Yeah, who audited you
Who
guys?
audited you? Who
Well,
checked
someone
you?
has to be the first.
It is true. Someone had to audit us, and hopefully in less than 5
The
days.
community.
First of all, the community, yes. We have more than 100,000 unique monthly users. So we have trust of more than 100,000 people. And I'm really proud of that. And I'm really honored. That's a lot of trust put into our hands. But plus, we have some interesting people we work with. And hopefully, you will be able to pick up this Easter egg or this icon on our profile page that will give you some understanding who audited us.
So there is some icon you're saying that people can look for and click on, right?
People will know when they see it for sure. Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be obvious.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. So great reason
A
for
big
everybody.
Easter egg.
Yeah. Everybody go and check it out. I mean,
Definitely.
have a look at xpmarket. What a fantastic website.
Excellent.
I think we
It's
covered most
incredible.
of it, right? Scarber, do you have any
Yeah,
question for
no,
Arthur?
it's just excellent.
I think we covered literally everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome work. It's incredible what you've built here. Really
Yeah,
is.
2.5 years of development in 1.5 hours of chat.
There we go.
Definitely. And I think it's not been covered like this. And we want to thank you for making so much time for us and for the community to have a chance to get this from firsthand CEO to get the explanation and run down on your fantastic website.
And
Encouraging everybody to use it and check it
the
out.
insight into AMM as well, which is
Yeah.
invaluable.
I mean, no matter how many times you hear it, you read it, or you get it explained by someone, there's always somehow something you just don't quite grasp. So thank you again for giving your explanation of the AMM.
Yeah, and thank you for showing it everything. I'm sure a lot of people will find it useful, and it just like saved me so much work even right now. I'll be able to take this walkthrough and share to anyone.
Please do. Yes, we hope that as much people as possible will be able to see this and share this and find it really useful. So,
and now this is a moment we figure out we did not press record.
Yeah, we've got to do it again. Damn, MD, why? Don't laugh. Actually, that did happen where we thought we'd lost the whole conversation. It was panic stations. It was like, no.
And luckily, one of our guests was recording as well, and we were able to get the audio back and redo the whole.
It was a right panic on a Friday night. It's gone.
Yeah. No, we're good. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So, Arthur, thanks again. If you have anything else you want to add, an encouragement for people who see this, or anything special, anything you want to say to close out our video here today.
I definitely encourage more people to explore XRP Ledger, see if it is the right blockchain for them to build their product. Definitely understand the limitations and the possibilities of the blockchain. There are quite a lot of possibilities on what you can build and what you can achieve, because working with XRP Ledger provides you certain benefits. And one of those is less expenses on the marketing campaigns, because the audience is very looking for high quality products. Plus, there is not that much competition that you have to outperform on other blockchains. It is light blockchain, it is fast, it is cheap, because even when your product is on the mainnet, you have to keep testing what you have built. And imagine testing on Ethereum where every transaction costs you $20,
No
$30.
thanks.
And here it costs like 0.002 cents. That's like incredible. Yeah, definitely would like to see more products coming to XRP Ledger, expanding the whole ecosystem, maybe more competitors, because competition drives the innovation. That would be really exciting.
Excellent. And
Yeah,
definitely more
fantastic.
competition.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arthur, for being here. We hope we can do this another time again when you have new features coming. We'd love to have you back if you would.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And with that, Scarborough,
Thank you ever so much, Arthur, for taking the time out and joining us. We really appreciate it. And on that note, to the moon.